Looking to bet smarter? Get sports betting insight and winning picks straight from the South Point Hotel and Casino.
I think the home team is the right side in this one.
A minus 200 combined goal differential from the Pacific Division, which is not good. 26-mile-an-hour winds blowing in from left.
Okay, then that should be a definite under.
Join Sports by the Book Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific and bet your winning edge.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Heading to Las Vegas to catch the action at Allegiant Stadium? Skip the traffic and the sky-high room rates of the Strip. Book your stay at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. The South Point is located just 7 miles away from the stadium, and it's a quick trip up the freeway, making it an affordable rideshare or taxi ride. And don't worry about getting here when you land in Vegas. We offer a convenient airport shuttle to get your getaway off to a stress-free start. Shuttles are also available on Raider game days for a small fee. So whether you're rooting for your team or seeing your favorite band in concert at Allegiant Stadium, South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa is your ticket to all the excitement. Rev up your engines and get ready to talk NASCAR betting. Join Brendan Gaughan and Jeff Motley as they get you ready to cash tickets on this weekend's race.
18 to 1 to win, plus 450 for a top three.
Give me that 130 number, and I think that's a pretty good return.
I like the Ford bet. I just think there'd be better bets somewhere else.
Gone Racing, streaming to YouTube every Thursday at noon Pacific.
Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome in. It is April 15th, a great time of the year. We've got day baseball happening right now. We've got some NBA play-in games, and we are right around the corner from some very meaningful Stanley Cup playoffs here. Thanks for joining us. This is Sports by the Book. We are live from the South Point Hotel and Casino. I'm Alex White, alongside Ryan McCormick. Happy to be with you. Ryan, we got to jump right into it because, as I mentioned, one game underway. One is delayed, but should be starting soon, and then another day game before the end of our show. So a lot to get to, but of course, we'll always do our recap from yesterday.
Yeah, happy Jackie Robinson Day. Everybody in Major League Baseball will be wearing the number 42 today, so don't get confused. To yesterday's recap brought to you by the South Point Sportsbook's closing numbers to give you these trends for the day. So we'll go to the Diamond first. Major League Baseball favorites in 15 games, 6-9 straight up. 9 underdogs won outright yesterday. 6 run lines recovered, 5 of which were by the underdog for the reverse run line. And totals were also 6-9, 6 overs, 9 unders. Chris's underdog system was a play on the Twins yesterday. They shut out the Red Sox and cover and win as a home underdog that had won the night before. So another win on that tally, a plus 123 on the closing number there. That would apply to the Reds today against the Giants, and again, those Twins today against the Red Sox. So just 2 games that home underdog system would apply to today. It would be the Reds and Twins that those plays would be on. To the hardwood, with the NBA having the 2 play-in games yesterday, favorites went 1-1 straight up. The favorite to lose would be the Phoenix Suns, going down to the Portland Trail Blazers. So the Blazers are now the 7 seed. We'll go to San Antonio for that first round matchup. And then the 8 seed will be finalized on Friday, as the 9-10 is taking place today. The winner of that will get Phoenix to decide who gets that 8 seed. And then, so favorites 0-2 against the spread. Both underdogs cover, as Portland won outright. And the Heat forced the game to go to overtime. Really, the Hornets forced the game to go to overtime, then kind of blow the 6-point lead in overtime. Granted, they did not have Bam Adebayo thanks to LaMelo Ball tripping him and injuring his lower back. But Hornets do get it done. They will advance to play the winner of Magic Sixers tonight. So, totals yesterday in the NBA, 2-0. Both games go over. And then, yeah, all the seeding stuff that I had mentioned. Going to the NHL, 9 games yesterday. All Eastern Conference teams that were in action are now done with their regular season. There are a couple Eastern Conference teams that play today. That will be their final games of the year. And then there are a couple Western Conference teams that it's the first of a back-to-back. That would be the Sharks and Kraken. They will play again tomorrow on the road. So good for them. Great scheduling by the NHL. But anyway, favorites yesterday in the 9 games, 4 and 5 straight up. Was a good day to play the underdogs. 5 puck lines recovered. 1 reverse would be the Flyers, winning 4-2 at home against the Canadiens. And totals 3, 5, and 1. We did have a push on the total, but 5 unders, 3 overs. And it was not a good day on the whiteboard. I should have included the Flyers and the Capitals, as I did like both of them, but the board did not do well. Lost 4 of the 5 in Major League Baseball. The run lines, each of those teams lost the game outright. The Giants lose to the Reds. That's why you have a play on the Reds today. And then the Kings do not sweep the Canucks. They lose in overtime. So we'll hope that the Knights can do the same in avoiding the sweep tonight against the Kraken.
I'm right there with you, Ryan. A lot of coulda, woulda, shoulda when it came to the whiteboard. I love the Padres getting a plus price. I don't know why that didn't make my whiteboard. The Diamondbacks was a good winner for me, but then we both liked the Tigers and the Braves to get one back. Small favorites, so kind of passed on them, but probably should be looking for more of those in those spots. I'm shocked with the Canadians, to be honest. I did like that one too. And then the Kings. It's crazy to see the Canucks force overtime in the last 2 games and get the win. So we'll see what happens. They have Edmonton tomorrow. Is that what you said? And they'll try to play spoiler again there.
Yep. Unless Connor McDavid can score 6 goals tomorrow against the Canucks, the Rocket Richard Trophy will belong to Nathan McKinnon, who has the lead by 5 goals over McDavid, has the lead by 2 goals over Cole Caulfield. Caulfield will not play again. So it's kind of likely that you won't see the Avalanche play their star players tomorrow night against Seattle. There's a good chance they'll rest, but that remains to be seen. So they did return Mikhail Makar to the ice last night after giving him a couple nights off. Again, that game tomorrow for the Avalanche will not matter at all. Kind of just a confidence boost and giving something to give the crowd the chance to cheer for going into the postseason, but it will genuinely mean nothing for the Avalanche or the Kraken.
Well, let's start off, since baseball is already starting. Let's go through the baseball slate first. We will get to the NBA play-in games. We're going to jump in and be ready for the actual playoffs, but do want to mention the lines for both of those, and they have to do with our post today. And the chat got it correct yesterday, so we'll see if they can do it 2 days in a row here with NBA. And then we do have a nice graphic for the bracket that we will kind of show later when we get to that. But Ryan, do you want to do results from yesterday's post and a tease for today's post, and then we'll get right into the baseball slate?
Sure. So yesterday's post was talking about a New York Groove or Hollywood Swingin'. Which team are you most confident to win the season or win the series between Angels, Yankees, or Mets, Dodgers? The coast-to-coast series that are taking place here yesterday through today. So the Mets got 23% of the vote. They are now down 0-2 in that series. They're not going to come back and win it. The Dodgers got 77% of the vote. So every vote was involved in that later on the series on the West Coast, not in New York City. And that one looks to be good, as the Dodgers have won both of that series. And the Yankees and Angels, no votes either side, but they've split 1-1.
Angels, tied it up yesterday after the walk-off the day before. So very good by our chat. And then as I previewed, I think we have 2 posts, right? Because we do have one later. Are we doing the home run? It is Hump Day Homer. So
That'll be our poll today.
oh, okay, that is our poll. So
Yes.
go ahead with the post that will sit on the YouTube page.
So the post linked in the description of today's video is talking about hustled at home. Which first-round favorite in the NBA playoffs will lose their opening series despite having their home court advantage? So the Cavs, Knicks, Nuggets, and Lakers all have home court in their series, but which one will go down in this opening series of the NBA playoffs? And then today's post, Alex kind of teased it, but it's today, Junior. Which Major League Baseball player will hit their first home run of the season today? Bobby Witt Jr. does not have a home run yet. Fernando Tatis Jr. does not have a home run yet. And Jazz Chisholm Jr. does not have a home run yet. So which of those three will hit their first home run of 2026 here today?
All right, I love it. Can't wait to see what the results are for those three and who they pick. I have a feeling I know who the favorite is in the chat, but I'll be going with the underdog in that one. And we'll get to that when we get to all of our baseball games and the pitching matchup for those three guys. But starting off, one game underway, no runs scored yet. Bottom of the second right now. We got Eduardo Rodriguez and Bradish going for Baltimore. Ryan, did you take anything in this one?
I did not. Looks like the O's just took a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. They now got a runner on second with 2 outs. I lied. Yes, I did. I took the D-backs on the money line. I backed Eduardo Rodriguez against Kyle Bradish here, thinking the Diamondbacks would be able to do something. Has not exactly started great.
Hey, it's okay. It started like this yesterday, too. The Orioles definitely got on the board first in that game, and they came back. But I'm with you. I took a little bit of the Diamondbacks getting a plus price because Eduardo Rodriguez has been fantastic this year. So we'll see if that can continue. But, I mean, 1 earned run in his 3 starts, over 18 innings pitched. So not looking good now. Ryan's face tells me.
No, it just would have been ball 4 if the batter had challenged. Batter did not challenge. So it's now a full count. Also, Matt and Everett had sent some stats on the year. Catchers have been the best at challenging ABS or using ABS this year. Let me open up the document. But pitchers have also been doing better than batters. People have been hating on pitchers for not doing too well with ABS challenges, but pitchers have been doing better than batters. Granted, they've challenged way less than batters. So batters going into yesterday had challenged 210 of 449 pitches, a success rate of 46, or had gotten correct challenges, 210 of 449 pitches, a success rate of 46.8%. Catchers had successfully challenged 310 of 501, so almost a 62% turnover rate. And pitchers had only challenged 21 pitches going into yesterday and were 10 for 21, so 47%. But overall, a 54.6% overturn rate, 506 overturns on 932 attempts going into yesterday in Major League Baseball.
I'm actually kind of surprised there is even that many for the pitchers because it seems like they do kind of just rely on the catcher to challenge or not. Okay. Right into it. We both like the Diamondbacks. We'll see if they can come back here. Just down 1. But we do we know what's happening with this Cleveland and St. Louis game?
It's a rain delay.
Okay.
So not exactly sure when that'll clear up. Haven't really looked at the weather report there in St. Louis. But it is Slade Zacconi and Dustin May on the mound. And we do have a slight road favorite with the Guardians, a minus 107 here at the South Point, 103 for the Cardinals. 9 is the total with a 115 to the over. If this weather does kind of hold up, game might get postponed. But if it kind of clears up, I would tend to think that total's a little too high.
Yeah, this one really killed me yesterday, Ryan. I didn't like that they gave us a 5 in the first 5, but that was the way to go rather than the full game. Did go to extra innings yesterday, and Cardinals got the win. So rubber match here between these two. Have you looked at Dustin May's numbers on the year? I can tell you he's 1 for 2 9.45 ERA.
Yikes.
And a 1.80 whip. So it has been a brutal start for him. Now he has played some pretty good lineups in Tampa Bay, at Detroit, where he gave up 7 earned on 3 1/3, and then the Red Sox. But I gotta believe Cleveland can keep it going here. I mean, they scored 9 in the first game and 5 yesterday.
Yeah, both games have gone over.
So I don't really, I just like their side. I don't really understand why we're basically at a pick 'em and it's such a short favorite.
Yeah, it is a pick 'em in the market, and I agree with you there, especially looking at Dustin May's numbers, which again, I will forever be baffled by that trade that the Red Sox made, giving the Dodgers even more loaded depth in their minor league system to get Dustin May for half a year, and then the Red Sox don't keep him. And now he's going to be a journeyman pitcher, and clearly the stats kind of back that up to start this year. So, the South Point is the only shop that has the juice to the Guardian side. So them being the favorite, everywhere else is a pick, depending on what the shop straddle is. So this is the South Point is the only shop that has the Guardians as the favorite.
I guess the pushback here is people kind of fading Slade Ciccone, and looking at their 3 starts, opponent batting average, I mean, Ciccone opponent batting average 233 compared to Dustin May, which is 362. So, yeah, I don't really get it, but it was just the home team last game. But it would be Cardinals or nothing for me.
The next one, first pitch at 10:40 over in Minnesota, or up in Minnesota. The Red Sox looking to avoid being swept here by these Twins. Twins have won by 7 in the first game, won by 6 last night after a shutout. So Red Sox lineup really needs to wake up. And Simeon Woods Richardson might be the guy to do it against. We've got home underdog, plus 106. Best price available in the market is here at the South Point, minus 116 for the road team Red Sox. Again, best price available in the market. And total is 8 with a 120 to the over.
I was scared and to jump in. This was Chris's yesterday too, right?
Yep.
Twins looking to do it again here, getting a plus price. I was nervous with Sonny Gray. And then looking at the pitchers going today, we got a lefty early who has been very good to start the season in his first 3 starts. Woods Richardson, not as good of numbers, but I like it. I like going with this trend and with this system here, plus 106 for Minnesota, and they are hitting the ball. I think they can keep it going. The other thing, Ryan, I'll have to ask if there's a way to track it and kind of dive into the numbers, but the avoiding the sweep doesn't really bother me so much this early in a season when there's so many games, and it seems like we've already had so many sweeps to start the season, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the Twins is the spot. I put it on a couple. I think I have an early morning for these earlier games, little round robin going, and I got the Twins there. Is that it for you? Or you like anything in the total?
Not necessarily. I do like these Twins bats. They've scored 34 runs in their last 4 games combined.
Jeez.
Connor Early has had a pretty good start to the year, a left-handed arm. But yeah, we were a little hesitant going against Sonny Gray yesterday. We were definitely hesitant going against Garrett Crochet on Monday, and they put up an 11 spot against Garrett Crochet in the first 2 innings. So this Twins lineup is fearless right now. Granted, they've never none of them in the lineup, starting in the lineup, have faced Connor Early in his career. I mean, Connor Early, obviously very, very early in his career. But yeah, it was a play for me on the Twins system, the home underdog system.
All right, let's get these first 2 early morning for us, and then let's find a couple more that we like on the slate.
All right, going to the rotation number order, starting at the 901, 902. Shota Imanaga against Jesus Luzardo. The Cubbies against the Phillies in Philadelphia. Phils, minus 130, plus 120 for the Cubs. 9 is the total, the 120 to the under.
Ryan, you didn't trust the Cubs yesterday, and they got their 10-4, big win for them. Now we've got Shota Imanaga, and we're getting a plus price. I think that's the correct site here. Luzardo has not been good to start the season. 1-2. 6.23 ERA and a 1.15 WHIP. He's been worse at home than even on the road. Pitched well in Colorado, but his 2 starts at home to the Rangers and the Diamondbacks did not go well. So I think this number's off. I think it should be more like a pick 'em here between these two. So any plus price of over plus 110, I think you're doing well.
Yeah, the last Shota Imanaga start was against the Pirates, and I told you guys that I wasn't really too happy with how Shota had been throwing over the last year, going back to last year. And then he proceeded to throw 6 no-hit innings, and then they pulled him and immediately gave up that no-hitter. I don't like Craig Counsell, but that's besides the point. These lineups have been spotty. Cubs put up 7 in the first in a loss, 13-7 loss. They put up 10 yesterday in a 10-4 win. So both games going over. Combined total of 20 in the first, combined total of 14 in the second. Shota Imanaga is, you look at like Ballpark Pal, and looking at the factor Philadelphia is supposed to have the most home runs in a game today, as well as Yankee Stadium. But that is also because Shota Imanaga is on the mound and he is a fly ball pitcher. So if the Phillies bats can kind of wake up, Kyle Schwarber is another guy to kind of look at. Obviously, the pop in that bat. He's the leader in the clubhouse on Ballpark Pal for most likely to hit a home run today. I would tend to think that we're going to get runs in this game. So even money on that total of 9, I think is good.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely think so. And a little bit of wind. Any guys you would look at in this matchup for home run? Is it Schwarber, you said?
Yeah, Schwarber, is he and Judge are the shortest prices on the day. They're the 2 that, according to Ballpark Pal, are the most likely to hit a homer today. But I don't like taking home runs if it's really shorter than 350, which both Schwarber and Judge are. So
I'm pretty sure Alec Boehm has a home run against Imanaga, right? And now I'm looking from the other side. If you want to fade Luzardo, and Alex Bregman has 2 home runs against Luzardo. So
Ian Happ did have a really good day yesterday. He could be seeing the ball pretty well. But yeah, kind of go with what you feel in that one.
all right.
Going to Cincinnati. The other money line underdog play that won yesterday would be the Reds against these Giants here. Even money for the Reds, money line minus 110 for the Giants. 9.5 is the total with a 120 to the under.
I do like the Reds and the system and sticking with that here. I don't really think the Giants are warranted to be a favorite. I did jump in last night at even money in case it did move, but market doesn't really agree too much with me. Power ratings do say that the Reds could be $1.20 at home here, though. Like the under as well, which, both of these offenses are definitely struggling. So I think that you're safe to go. It's going the other way. We better check the weather there, because I don't understand why we're seeing a 9.5 here between these two. When yesterday we got a 2-1 final, and I thought we'd get a little bit of the same here in this one. But yeah, I'll be taking the Cincinnati side for sure. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. This Giants lineup, both these lineups are really struggling, but Reds got the win yesterday. They're home underdog, going with the system, the plus price there. Won't argue too much against this Giants team that's really, really struggling. So going to Pittsburgh, where the Nationals are on the road, getting plus 160 on their money line, minus 175 for the Pirates. 9.5 is the total with a 120 to the under.
Nothing for me in this one. I kind of passed it quickly because no interest in getting behind the Pirates again at that big of a price. I think that's a little expensive here. I think they should be closer to $1.45 at home, but I do understand that Jake Irvin has struggled, 7.07 ERA and a 1.5 WHIP, so hasn't been the best start for him. And then we will get 2 going for Pittsburgh, Montgomery getting the start, and then Malinsky being the primary there. And looking at his numbers, they are fairly good. Has not given up more than 2 earned runs in 4 innings, so he can go about 4 and win 5 against the Cubbies. So, yeah, I do think that's the right side, Ryan, but just too expensive.
I think this dog is live. I think this plus 160 is a pretty good price to take. I get you've got Jake Irvin on the mound, but Mike Montgomery has a almost 2 WHIP here in his 3 starts this year. Walking batters, giving up hits in just a 7 and a third. The Nationals have been a team that has been able to put bat on ball and rack up hits and been good on the base path. So I think the Nationals are live here. That plus 160 could be good. So.
I can't fault you, really. I mean, I think it's gotten out of control. I think Pittsburgh should be 145, so it is a big difference there.
Okay. Going to Atlanta. Braves do get the bounce back spot, and they got Bryce Elder against Chris Paddock here today. So Elder minus 165, 152 for the Marlins. 9 is the total with a 115 to the under.
Don't even have to worry about my scared trying to avoid the sweep here because the Marlins got game 1, so I'm not going to overthink it. I went right back to the Braves. I liked them yesterday. Liked them today. Ryan, I almost said it yesterday, but I didn't, about taking the run line with the home team. And it happened to us with the Dodgers where they didn't get the final at-bat in the 9th. But I'm going to do it here with the Braves. Bryce Elder has been fantastic in his 3 starts. He's got a 1.02 ERA and WHIP. So, yeah, he didn't go as long against Cleveland in his last start, but I'm not too worried about it against these fish. So, minus 165, I think that's a good price. If you want to get crazy and try with the run line, maybe split up the unit size there, but plus 120 for the Braves run line.
I like it. I would like to back the Braves here today. I would like to take the Braves hitters going against Chris Paddock. Both of these games in this series have gone over. Let me check what the Braves team total is.
Good idea.
There we go. So, yeah, I would be looking to back the Braves here today. You're laying a minus 125 for 4.5. Maybe you can get an alt one and see if you can get at least 5 runs here from the Braves here today to try and get that plus price. I think that would be good. So,
looks like a great matchup for the Braves hitters, but no home runs off. Oh, I lied. There's a couple home runs. Dominic Smith and I'm going to mess up his name, so we'll have to pause on that one. Looks like the Diamondbacks took a nice little...
Yeah, they took the lead, 2-1 there. We also have had first pitch in St. Louis, so that one is no longer rain delayed. So, yeah. Oh, Mike Yastrzemski is the guy that has had 3 home runs off of Chris Paddock. Dom Smith with 1. Dom Smith, a 51's favorite, if you were here for the minor league baseball.
That's right.
A couple of years ago, as the Aviators used to be the 51's and used to be the Mets affiliate. Okay, going to...
Wait, really quick, because it kind of just... It's a nice little segue. Attila in the chat, last comment in there that I just saw, talking about Yoel Pozo, who was a Aviator favorite catcher who is now with St. Louis, and I didn't even know that he won it in the 10th for them. So... Nice. Walk-off double there.
He was, another fan favorite. Pozo's been there, I believe, for the last... He was there last year. I think had a grand slam. That was pretty hyped. He's always had a pretty good personality. We got to kind of see it up close and personal in the dugout with the camera crew there. But to the Mets in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Clay Holmes against Shohei Ohtani. Dodgers a minus $2 favorite, plus 180 for the Mets to finally get a game back. And the total is 8 with a 115 to the under.
Thought this might be the biggest difference in starting pitchers, but it was actually the game before with Bryce Elder compared to Paddock going. But still, Shohei Ohtani, his numbers are ridiculous this year. I understand. I think that $2 favorite at home is warranted. I'm not going to get involved without getting a plus price lane, the run line, Ryan. I think you'd have to go minus 2.5 if you were going to try and find any value here. But no reason to jump in and trust the Mets right now. They still aren't hitting, even though they slowed down the Dodgers offensively yesterday. But can't really trust them to score some runs here. So it's a pass for me. Anything that you liked?
So that run line is now an even money price here at the South Point. for the Dodgers to win this game by 2. Pointed out yesterday that they had 10 of their 12 wins by the run line. They don't cover it yesterday as they had the late comeback to be up 2-1. Yoshinobu Yamamoto allows a leadoff home run and then retires the next 18 batters against the Mets. So Mets lineup has so much to figure out here as we're early in the season, but the Dodgers have so much depth. It would be a look to, them covering yet another run line, and you're getting an even money here at the South Point. So plus unit.
Good. Let's get it back from yesterday.
Moving to the AL. We already talked about the Sox and Twins. Going to the Tigers and Royals. Seth Lugo against Jack Flaherty. We've got Flaherty as a -125 home favorite. Royals catching a 115 on their money line. 8.5 total with a 115 to the over.
8.5 total. I was leaning to an over here, but that would be against the power ratings, which Chris says is just the starting point. But also kind of lean into the Royals. I mean, until Flaherty figures it out, I don't really feel confident in backing him. He did have a much better start against those Twins that have been red hot in Minnesota. So maybe that's enough to get there, but 5.14 ERA and a 1.64 whip for him. I think another big thing is just how many walks. He's walked at least 3 guys in each start. So 11 on the year. Lugo's numbers look really good. I know that this Tigers lineup has seen him often and have been good against him. But he started the year good. It'd be Royals or pass for me. What do you think?
Yeah, the Royals have gone under their team total in 7 of their last 8. So their lineup is really struggling. Bobby Witt Jr. involved in our poll today, has yet to hit a home run, so yet to kind of wake up. Could Jack Flaherty be the guy to do it against? We'll see. But that Royals lineup is another one that has some things to figure out, and the Tigers are kind of right there with them. You're seeing them kind of in the middle of that AL Central, which neither team was expected to be. They were expected to be 1-2 in this division of the AL Central. So yeah, that was kind of a long way to go about it, but I would be looking to the under, and I would be looking for that plus 115 with Seth Lugo. Just thinking that the Royals will find a way to do it because the Tigers have found ways to lose these games, but I don't think these lineups will do much today.
So looking at the Royals against Flaherty, OBP 310. OPS, on base plus slugging, 791. So pretty good numbers actually against him. We'll see if they can get it going finally. Either side. You're right. Neither one has been very impressive to say the least.
All right, to Yankee Stadium, where we have the highest total on the board here today because Jack Hanowitz is on the mound for the Angels and Luis Gil is on the mound for the Yankees. Yankees -180 on the money line, plus 160 for the Angels. 10.5 is that total with a 120 to the over.
We did fade him a lot last year, didn't we? Going opponent's team total over almost religiously. So, but he started the year pretty good so far. 16 2/3, a 3.24 ERA. Now, again, another guy that walks a lot. 12 strikeouts to 11 walks for him and a 1.26 whip. I don't know. I'm not that confident in Luis Gil on the other side either, Ryan. I mean, a 6.75 ERA to start the year. I guess he's only had one start, though, to really. It could get that down. 10.5 is too many, though. I can't get involved in this over. Anything for you?
Yeah, that inflated ERA is he was walking batters, gave up a homer because he's only allowed 3 hits in his 4 innings. But I would tend to think that, Jack Hanowitz has had a pretty good start to the year, only allowing 10 hits, granted only 12 Ks, has allowed more walks than hits in 16 2/3, 11 walks to 10 hits. So base runners are still getting on, and this Yankees lineup has a lot of pop. Kind of just talked myself off of going with the under. But the Angels have been a team to find ways to win early in this year. So a plus 160 price against the Yankees team that has found ways to lose games is pretty tempting there for me.
Do you know? You said Aaron Judge and Schwarber were the shortest odds.
Yep.
Do we have a Mike Trout number available? I mean, we got to just keep backing him while he's this hot, right?
Before he
Don't say it.
Yeah, I was gonna make another Buxton joke. Let me take a look. Yeah, this Angels lineup has been outstanding. Yesterday, Trout, Adele, and Soler go back to back to start the first inning. Well, granted, the leadoff hitter got out, but back to back in the first inning, and then not many runs for the rest. But they do end up winning 7-1. Mike Trout. Ballpark Palace taking a while here today. No, it's not going to work. Well, we can we'll move on to the White Sox against the Rays here today. This is another one where 107 for the road team, minus 103 for the home team. 8.5 is the total with a flat 110.
I'm going to stay away from Chicago today. Neither of them got there for me, the Rockies or the White Sox, although they were competitive, the Rockies more. This one's tough to handicap because I think Sean Burke is pretty decent. I always said he was probably the best White Sox pitcher. 3.60 ERA to start the season, but a 107 whip. On the other side, we do have Jesse Schultens that has not started in the big league since 2023. He did come out of the bullpen, though, and pitched really well against Chicago at 4 2/3. That's Cubs. Scoreless innings. So now he'll get a start. 32-year-old righty. What do you think? You think he'll do well here in this spot, Ryan?
Both of these lineups are kind of pretty hard to predict. And yeah, Schultens has obviously started the year pretty well, not allowing a run yet. And Sean Burke held his own. But this game will ultimately be a stay off for me just because can't really be confident with these two teams. I get it's a short price, but they have to book every game. We don't have to bet every game.
That's right. So that is an easy pass, and I think that money going towards the over because it was 8 earlier. Now we're seeing 8.5, but I think 8 is correct there.
All right, we got one in Sacramento with the A's as a minus 117 home favorite, plus 107 with the Rangers. 9.5 is the total with a 120 to the over. And Kumar Rocker versus JT Ginn.
Did the Athletics hold on and get that win last night? I think that was the last game I was waiting for. 2-1 win. Yes, they did. Okay. Let me compare to my numbers here and taking a look at the pitchers. But we know JT Ginn pretty well. Pitched at here in Las Vegas for quite some time. Starting the season out of the bullpen. Right, and then did get his first start against the Mets. Went 4 innings in that one. No earned runs. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. So I like that side, but I'm a little bit nervous with this Rangers lineup here. On the other side with Rocker, 4.50 ERA and a 1.4 whip. I think JT Ginn is the better pitcher going here today. I would like to look at that side and think that the A's can take 2 out of 3 of this one. Maybe an over 2, though, Ryan. In that ballpark, I do think both pitchers could give up a few. So 9.5, though, is pretty high. So nothing definite for me. Lean to the home team, lean to the over.
I definitely think the A's will wake up their bats here against Kumar Rocker. Their team total is, again, a 4.5 with a 125 to the over. Don't want to be playing the team total. I would just look to the A's run line, plus that 165, having to win this game by 2. Having been able to see JT Ginn, I do like what JT Ginn has. He is also he has a pretty feisty personality, but that can also go against you. If he gets rattled early, might kind of spiral, and this Rangers lineup will be able to do a little bit. But this A's bullpen has been able to show that they can shut teams down here for a little bit. So it's a matter of, will the A's lineup wake up? Kumar Rocker is a pitcher to do it against. They've seen him a good amount throughout the minor league system as these two affiliates. are both in the PCL. So I would think the A's lineup can do it. This run line now plus 165. I still think is good. It looks like it's taken a little bit of action from that 170 now to 165. So A's by 2 here. That's what we're going to go with.
I like it. Looking at the numbers here against Kumar Rocker, I saw the guys that we've seen: Butler, Geloff, Kurtz, Langoliers, Soderstrom, Wilson. This is a much better OPS, 140, 143, 824 slugging. So have done very well. Average is 588. So
Oh, a lot better. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Butler hit a home run yesterday, right? Last night, I believe he did, and he has one off of Rocker already. I would go with the Langoliers. I think he's due.
A guy that is due is Nick Kurtz.
And Nick
he
Kurtz.
has really kind of struggled this year. When he runs into it, it goes far. But he has not run into many so far this year. Denzel Clark also pulls off a yet another home run robbery in yesterday's game. So he is one of the most fun outfielders to watch in the game. Go into interleague play. We already got the D-backs and O's tied at 2 here in the top of the 4th. We've got the Guardians up 1-0 in the first against the Cardinals. Cardinals getting their first chance to bat right now. But we'll go to Milwaukee. Chad Patrick against Dylan Cease. Cease and the Blue Jays are a minus 120 road favorite, plus 110 for the Brew Crew. 7.5 is the total with a 115 to the under.
Nothing for me in this one unless I add in, are the Brewers really on a 6-game losing streak?
Mm-hmm.
So adding that in, I can definitely understand this number. I definitely think Toronto has the pitching advantage. I like Dylan Cease, so I would say it's got to be that side. And I mean, looking at his starts so far, Cease's 2 better starts were at home. Now he's back on the road here it was against Chicago, where he actually gave up 2 earned runs and went 4 1/3. So that kind of makes me a little bit nervous. I've got nothing. Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, we mentioned the starting pitching matchup of Gosman versus Mizorowski yesterday. Brought up their strikeout props, but I thought they were a little too inflated and didn't want to jump at them at that high price. They both ended up with only 5 strikeouts in the game. So if you stayed off, good on you. If you took the under, great on you. But these two teams are two of the top 10 in Major League Baseball with the fewest strikeouts as batters so far this year. Granted, they played 1 less game than a lot of the other teams in Major League Baseball, but the Brewers lineup is really struggling, but they're finding ways to not strike out. Say that for the starting pitching conversation from yesterday, they did strike out 7 times against relievers from the Blue Jays yesterday, totaling for 12 strikeouts in yesterday's game, which still managed to go over the total with 16 combined runs. But it would be, I think this is a short price here on the Blue Jays. I get both lineups are missing some key pieces, but with Cease on the bump, I think this is a short price with that minus 120.
I agree. That would be the side I think is correct.
All right, to Houston, where they ended their losing skid and kept the Rockies on theirs, even though that game ended up being kind of tight last night after the Astros got up to a big lead. Spencer Arrighetti and the Astros are a minus 180 home favorite, plus 160 for Jose Quintana, and the Rockies 8.5 the total with a minus 120 to the over.
And now the Rockies come into this one, losers of 5 straight in a row. Arrighetti, though, his first start of the season, did pitch 3 games in AAA, though. So, and they kind of stretched him out more and more. Went 6 innings in Tacoma, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. No home runs. So I think that's the right side. I think that's a fair price, Ryan, but I still don't trust Houston enough to want to lay that with them. And I think 8.5 is just right.
Yeah, this Rockies lineup has found ways to do things. Even though they're still not coming out on top, they're still putting up runs. So this total being at an 8.5, but with a juice to the over. Yeah, you guys know I don't necessarily like doing the minus prices, so we'll end up staying off that one. But I do think that the Rockies lineup will be live enough against Arrighetti here. Granted, Arrighetti did have a decent year last year and had his rehab start the year in AAA. So ultimately, 2 teams really, really struggling. It'll be another stay off for me. So we go to the final one in rotation number order. This would be the Mariners on the road in San Diego, with Emerson Hancock against Randy Vasquez. Padres, a slight favorite, minus 108 here at the South Point, minus 102 for the Mariners. 8 is the total with a 115 to the under.
I am looking forward to this one again yesterday. Pretty good game there and a good pitching duel between Brian Wu and Michael King. I know these two aren't quite on the level, but for their numbers this year, they are right there. And I do think that they can do the same thing and shut down the lineups here. Looking at Hancock on the year, 19 strikeouts to 3 walks, and Randy Vasquez 19 to 4. Yeah, I definitely like the under in this one, Ryan. I just wish it was 8.5 and I could at least get that hook. Maybe it's a first 5 for these two. But that's the way I'm looking. I think the side's right there, and I don't have a strong opinion like I did yesterday. Sidewise.
Yeah, this is one with a pretty solid pitching matchup, and both lineups honestly struggling. Mariners got, I say struggling, yeah, they beat up on the Astros, who have the worst pitching staff in Major League Baseball so far this year, and only scored 1 last night as they got to face a better test in the Padres. Padres score 4 runs last night, which is still under their team total, after sweeping the Rockies, where they were able to put up runs again against the Rockies. So, yeah, both these lineups are struggling. I would tend to think that it will also go under. I agree with you. I would like to be getting the hook in order to not push, but wouldn't want to lay more juice to get it.
Yeah.
It would be a look to the Padres keeping it going, getting another win at home. I do like what Randy Vasquez does, but not enough of a price for me to want to put it on the board.
It is crazy. It just feels like these two, especially the Mariners, and we know that with their pitchers, but they just keep putting them out there. Next guy, and they're just elite, where a lot of these teams barely have an ace. So we'll see if these two can get it done. I didn't really realize Randy Vasquez is that good, but I have heard a lot of people like praise him from years prior and say to you that he would get there. So, all right, there's our baseball. Good to see everybody in the chat. Let us know if we missed anything, or if you like anything, or if you like somebody that's not a junior to hit a home run today. You can go ahead and put it in the chat there. Ryan, let's go through hockey. Then we'll talk a little NBA, and that is another time we might need the chat to jump in and let us know what we are taking tonight.
All right, 6 games on the ice today. Each of the Eastern Conference teams, it is their final game of the regular season. For a couple of those Western Conference teams, they will again play tomorrow. Talking about the Sharks and Kraken there tonight. But for the other ones, all final regular season games of the year. And we'll start in Buffalo, where our guy Eddie Olczyk will be on the call for tonight's game for TNT. Stars, Sabres. Stars are a road favorite of minus 140, plus 120 for the Sabres. 6 is the total with a 115 to the over.
It's kind of crazy to me. I understand like keeping the rhythm for these goalies, but I'm shocked that it's not Casey DeSmith, and it looks like it is going to be Jake Ottinger. But again, I know and he's not really a 1-2 share the net anyway, so plays majority of the games. But on the other side, it won't be Ukko-Pekka
Luukkonen.
It's been a while. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. So it will be Ellis on that side. Kind of have to factor in for that. But really, Ryan, I mean, a meaningless game between the two. They're already set in their spots. If anything, I'd be looking at an over. I actually did make it 6.5 juice to the under here. So now you got to pay a little bit for that over, but you got a 6. So that's the only way I'd play this one.
Yeah, this will be, granted, Alex is right. This one doesn't mean anything. Both teams are established in where they'll be for the playoffs. The Stars will host the Minnesota Wild come on Saturday, and the Sabres will be hosting a playoff game that is yet to be decided which wild card team they'll be facing between the Senators and Bruins. That will be decided by them. They can't surpass the Hurricanes in order to get home ice through the Eastern Conference. So Buffalo will be staying at home after this game. Dallas will be going back home to get ready for the postseason against the Wild. I don't think it should be a home underdog here in this game. I get that it's a backup goalie starting, and you should be getting Jake Ottinger in the net for the Stars. The Sabres seem to be a little more hungry. They've covered four straight games, covering the puck line in 4 straight. Granted, the Stars have won 3 of the last 4, or won 4 straight as well, have won 3 of the last 4, none of which were against playoff teams, but all of which were 1-goal games, or 3 of those 4 were 1-goal games. So they're playing a little bit tighter when they didn't really need to, and the Sabres are keeping the foot on the gas, trying to win these. So plus 120 for the Sabres money line. You'll see it on my board.
I thought Buffalo was minus 120. I actually read that wrong there. I agree. I have Buffalo as a minus 120 with factoring in 20 cents for the goalie. I don't see any reason to take off any more. They both have guys out. So, yeah, I'm with you. I like that as well.
All right, going down to Tampa Bay. Final games of the year for both of these teams. Rangers plus 140 on their money line, minus 160 for the Lightning. 6 is the total with a 115 to the over.
I don't know what to do here. Really, Tampa Bay should be minus 260, 250 against the Rangers, especially when they don't have Shesterkin in net. But I guess they want to feel good going into it. Could be without Radish. So I don't know. Ryan, what do you think?
So I do think the Lightning will end up winning this game. I do not want to play them on the puck line. It will be Andrei Vasilevsky in net for them. The Rangers netminder, making his 3rd start of the year. And he's been doing pretty well, and Dylan Garand. So tend to think that the Rangers are not quitting on this year. This, again, will be their final game of the year, so fighting for pride. We saw the Blue Jackets did quit, and we heard from their interim coach that they're going to need a whole culture change if he does stick around, because they did quit. They ended up 2-8-1 in their final 11 when they were still in postseason contention. I'm talking about the Blue Jackets there. This Rangers team, was the first team eliminated from postseason contention on the Eastern Conference side of things, and they still managed to win games. And the Lightning are playing tighter games. So trying to get Vasilevsky in his rhythm of a playoff type. Would like to think that they will get less goals in this game. Total is 6. You more than likely won't see the net pulled very empty very early. Because this game doesn't matter for the Rangers. That will just be a fight for pride. And the Lightning, thanks to the Canadiens losing last night, will have home ice against the Canadiens. So they don't need a point tonight, but a point would be good for the Lightning. So it doesn't exactly matter for either side. But you got the better goalie with the Lightning, and 2 teams really kind of fighting for pride. Well, Rangers fighting for pride because they will not have a game after this. Lightning fighting for pride and getting their crowd hyped up to welcome the Canadiens here come this weekend.
3 straight wins at home for Tampa Bay. So, yeah, I don't really know why it is so cheap. I guess because you're right, the Rangers haven't fully quit and have showed a lot of fight here at the end. But, yeah, 250 would be my real number here. All right, let's keep it rolling. Another one that's going to be tough.
And another one in Florida. The Detroit Red Wings taking on the Panthers, 4th and final meeting of the year. Final game of the year for both of these teams. The Red Wings are a minus 155 road favorite as priced here at the South Point, plus 135 on the money line for the Panthers. 6.5 is the total. 110 both ways.
You already know I crossed out the Red Wings a long time ago in the no bet.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Detroit's 3-5-2 in their last 10, and Florida's 4-5-1. Florida's won 2 straight. I don't think Detroit should be this big of a favorite. It's kind of like that first game you were saying. I don't think they should. I think it should be a pick'em. So plus 135. That would be my play here in this one for the Panthers. And I know it isn't goalie Bob, but still.
Yeah, this Red Wings team is really confusing. started really hot. They were one of my favorite teams to back early in the year, and then they absolutely collapsed. They were one of the best teams in the NHL points-wise, and then fell out of postseason contention and were eliminated over a week ago. So things have not been good. The offense is still trying to do their best, trying to not necessarily pad the stats for Patrick Kane as the greatest American hockey player, point scorer in NHL history. But they just have a lot to figure out. The Panthers recognized that they were eliminated, called up a bunch of their minor league players, and have been getting NHL time for those young guys. And they are the most injury-riddled team in the NHL this year, having missed over 550 games from key contributors. And I haven't seen the starting lineup, but they will have less than 10 guys that participated in the Stanley Cup final last year actually on the ice tonight for the Panthers. So tend to think that the Red Wings are the right side. Don't want to lay a minus 155. Definitely think there's value with the road or the home team, home underdog, fighting for pride, final home game of the year. Nothing left to play for either of these teams. So think the value's there with that 135.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy seeing all these guys out here. Well, Bennett isn't officially out, but Ekblad is, Seth Jones, Reinhardt, Marchand. So that's a lot. I was curious, and if there was pride, the Panthers won the last two, but Red Wings did get them early in the season in October.
Yeah, Panthers won both off of the Olympic break. Second week of March. They played each other twice within 5 days. Panthers won both. So that was really kind of the downturn there for the Red Wings. And the Panthers weren't yet eliminated at that point. So kind of trying to fight did not end up going well after that for either of these teams. So yeah, this one is a fight for pride for both squads. Where it is not a fight for pride for one team, the Ottawa Senators are a $2 favorite at home against the Toronto Maple Leafs, plus 175 for the Leafs money line, 6.5 at the total, the 115 to the over.
3 straight overs in games between these two, and it started off with a Toronto win, right? So Senators are 3-2 on the season. Is that right, Ryan? But December 27th, Toronto won 7-5, and then the Senators repaid and got revenge, I guess, and won 5-2 twice in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I like the over. I know you don't want to pay a juice 6.5 for a game that's pretty meaningful or meaningless. I'm sorry, for both sides, but I did make it 7 between these two. I don't know if I'm gonna play it, but that's just kind of the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I said it didn't really mean anything for the Maple Leafs, which it doesn't, and that it could mean something for the Senators. But thanks to the Bruins' win last night, the Senators are locked into that final wildcard spot. So it will be Boston in Buffalo and Ottawa in Carolina in the first round of the NHL postseason. So with that being said, Alex mentioned the 3 prior games. This is the 4th and final. Every single one of them have gone over. I think you'll get the goals here from Ottawa. That puck line plus a 125 isn't exactly great, but it's still a plus price. And you're going against the team that does look like they've quit in the Toronto Maple Leafs. So a team that is gearing up for postseason, want to keep the rhythm going. Don't know who's in the lineup. Don't know if they're sitting any guys, but I would think that with them being a $2 favorite, they're not sitting many. So Senators to win by 2 goals there in Ottawa.
Okay. Yeah, that might even be better than trying to go with an over and getting 7 total goals. Because, yeah, Toronto had a little bit of fight, and then once Austin Matthews got injured, they've definitely given up. Losers of 5 straight and 3 on the road. 2 more.
All right, to Chicago. United Center, final game of the year for the Blackhawks. The Sharks will be on the road tomorrow in Winnipeg. Sharks, a minus 120 road favorite, even money for the Hawks. 6.5 is the total with 110 both ways.
110 both ways. I do think that there could be some value there on the Blackhawks. I do have a minus 105 at home between the Sharks. I mean, both of these teams come into this one losers of 3 straight. Chicago has struggled at home. They've lost their last 6 home games, but maybe they can get one here and you're getting even money. I don't know. That's the way I would look at it, looking at the value there and going with the Hawks. Ryan, is there a reason not to bet on the Blackhawks tonight?
Losers of 4 straight, losers of 9 of their last 10, and losers of 18 off the Olympic break. They are 6, 13, and 5 off the Olympic break. They do look like they've quit. In that 4-game losing streak, they've only covered the puck line once. Well, I'll say this other one first before I get to the back-to-back numbers for the Sharks. This is the third and final. The home team has won each, so that would be a reason to go with the Hawks here. Chicago won 6-3 just before the Olympic break, and then San Jose won 3-2 in San Jose just over a week ago. So back-to-back numbers, as the Sharks will be in Winnipeg tomorrow. The Sharks are the second best team in the NHL on the first of a back-to-back, having won 11 of 15, 11-3-1 they are as a record, 11-4 on the money line on the first of a back-to-back. Totals 7-8, so slight trend to the under there in the first of a back-to-back. Keep in mind for the matchup tomorrow in Winnipeg. Winnipeg will be fighting for pride in that one. Both teams here tonight and tomorrow fighting for pride there. But Sharks 4-8-2, 4-10 on the money line. That doesn't quite math right. But anyway, 5-9, another one that trends to the under. So Sharks really good in the first of back-to-back, not so good in the second. And the Hawks have looked really disinterested. So this is a Macklin Celebrini versus Connor Bedard night. Will you get the pride from the Hawks? That has remained to be seen. Hasn't been seen in quite a while. But the Sharks have put up a decent fight the last couple of nights.
Okay. And last but not least,
here in Vegas, the Seattle Kraken are going for the season sweep against these Golden Knights. The Kraken have won all 3 of the games they've played this year. This is the 4th and final, and Vegas is a almost $3 favorite here at the South Point. They are a $3 favorite in the market, plus 245 on the money line for the Kraken. 6 is the total, the 120 to the over.
so I was thinking about this one too, Ryan, and if you follow Sinbin on social media, you see he did a nice little diagram to
Flow
show
chart, yeah.
who Vegas will play. They will not play Edmonton no matter what, right? If they win either way in regulation or overtime, they get Utah, right? And then it gets way more complicated, but they could end up with the Kings or Anaheim. My thought process was that Utah's better than those two. I'd never want to intentionally lose a game, especially when they're feeling good and they're playing so good. But I thought, why not give Aiden Hill another chance against this Seattle team and just see what happens and keep him fresh as well, right? But he did get to play since Tortorella, and it was against Seattle, in Seattle. So I could see why they wanted to finish with a win.
And that was a win for Seattle in that one.
It was, but it was not Nicholas Coco, who has 2 games under his belt now. He's 1-1. So he is the 3rd string goalie that will face the Knights tonight. So I think the Knights is the correct side, definitely. But how do we find any value? And do you agree?
I don't think there's any value playing the Knights in the game unless you're taking an alt total, which you're going to need them to win by 3 against a team that's had their number all year. First of the back-to-back numbers for Seattle, 6-4-1, so 6-5 on the money line, trending to the under. 4-7 are the totals. Keep in mind for their game in Colorado tomorrow. Good luck there. 4-5-2, 4-7 on the money line, and 4-7 are those totals. So totals in both first and second of back-to-back are 4-7 for the Kraken. I would think that the value is in this game to go to overtime. It is a plus 360 price for this game to go to overtime. Knights, yes, if they record a point in any fashion, they are the Pacific Division winners. They will have Utah in town this weekend. If they lose in regulation, that opens the door for the Oilers to steal the Pacific Division crown and be the 1 seed in the Pacific. So that's the reason they can't play Edmonton, is that those two are locked in 1-2. Those two will have home ice in this first round of the playoffs. It's just a matter of who the opponent is, and whether or not the Kings can steal that spot from the Mammoth, or whether the Mammoth own that first wild card spot. So, or the Ducks fall out of it and fall into the wild card, and the Kings kind of swap that spot. But anyway, I would think the value, not much plan. You're laying a price for the Knights to win by 2, which isn't exactly a good way to go about it. Only getting them I guess it's a minus 105 to take the puck with the Kraken, but I would think that the real value is in that plus. I get you're rooting for a tie game through 60 minutes, but it's a plus 360 here tonight.
That is a good price there. And they just went to overtime.
Yep.
Shootout. And I will be in the building. And I don't think I've seen one game not go to overtime. So, all right. I like it. I do think that's not a terrible way. But the one thing that scares me is just the way the Knights looked in the third period against the Jets. And that was a high-scoring third period, kind of back and forth for a second, and then it was all Knights. Maybe it's kind of
period by period.
Yes, exactly. First period
under.
tie, second period, and even under 1.5 there. So, should we all pick somebody that we think is going to score a goal tonight? Vince, you want to throw it in the chat? Who do you got? Drew Doc, Sean, anybody?
First period tie plus 190.
Okay.
It was a 0-0 game against the Jets.
Yes, it was.
First period under 1.5 plus 110. Want to predict the score. Second period tie plus 220. The Knights kind of wake up after 20 minutes. And then third period tie. So specifically in those periods, plus 250 on that one.
Wow. So plus 190, plus 220, and then plus 250, depending on which period you want to take. Okay. Did we get any goal scores?
We got an Eichel.
Very good. Love it.
Nothing more than that, though.
I'm going to Mark Stone. He's been hot. He's got a lot of points the last few games. Can never go wrong with Dorofeyev. Ryan, who you got?
Let's see. Barbie, I didn't really like his chips on Monday. Tomas Hertl, we have not heard from at all recently.
Oh, he is due. You're right.
Eichel and Marner are the easy ones. So, granted, I've never really liked Tomas Hertl. Going back to him with the Sharks, that kind of rivalry there. Nick, back it up with a Hertl. Very due. All right. Well, yeah, we'll go with that one.
He is in front of the net a lot, like waiting for the rebound. So It just has not played out for him. All right. NBA, Ryan, we've got 2 basketball games tonight, and we do have a lot of stars in these 2 matchups. So we got 76ers, a 1.5 point favorite against Orlando, total 224. And then we've got the Clippers, a 5.5 point favorite against Steph Curry and the Warriors, 220.5. The home team did win the series on the year in both of these matchups, but I kind of like Orlando in the first one. I guess you just have to take a shot there on the money line. But I don't know. Unless you want to take the points, it's a lot of points with the Warriors, but I don't really know. They were close games, all 4 of them this year, but the Clippers won 3 of 4. So they have had their number. Did you like anything in these?
I'll tell you what I don't like, and that's the Amazon Prime broadcast. If you watch the Heat Hornets having technical issues in overtime, the worst time to have technical difficulties. And then Stan Van Gundy is insufferable for me to listen to. This basketball game is so incredible. It's one of the best basketball games you'll ever. Stop it, Stan. Talk about, just analyze. Stop telling me this is the best game you'll ever watch. between the Heat and Hornets. What are we talking about, man? Anyway, tonight's games, the 7 winner advances to Boston in Magic Sixers. I tend to agree the Sixers will be able to get it done there, but Orlando's offense is pretty impressive, and they can compete. We did see both games go over the totals in yesterday's play-ins, so that will be another one to keep in mind with these totals lower than yesterday's. The Clippers, I would tend to think the Warriors do have a chance here. They've got the playoff caliber, and obviously Steph Curry's on the team. So, granted, you're going against one of the better defenses in the league with the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard if he is on the court for a good amount of time. So that's why you're seeing that as the lowest total of these play-ins so far. But the winner of this game will get to go to Phoenix and play against the Suns in that 8 seed battle to get the right to play the Thunder. So I would tend to think, it would be good to take the points here with the Warriors and Sixers money line, even though it's more than the 110. But again, I have not done much NBA, so that's really just a feeling. Don't listen to my advice on those plays.
Well, but really, looking at the 4 games in the regular season, I mean, the Golden State won the first one. The second one, they lost by 1. The third one, they did lose by 13. So you would not cover there. But then the final one, they lost by 5. So, I mean, 3 of the 4, very competitive. Even a 13-point game in the NBA is still competitive, right? From other final scores we see. So I would only look that way as well. But anybody else in the chat, if you have any thoughts or plays in either of those two, let us know. I know J-Main likes to cover and do his NBA homework. So, all right, we don't have whiteboards ready, so we're going to take a quick break since we're ahead of schedule today. And when we come back, we'll have our best bets, what we like tonight. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Rev up your engines and get ready to talk NASCAR betting. Join Brendan Gaughan and Jeff Motley as they get you ready to cash tickets on this weekend's race.
18 to 1 to win, plus 450 for a top 3.
Give me that 130 number, and I think that's a pretty good return.
I like the 4 bet. I just think there'd be better bets somewhere else.
Gone Racing, streaming to YouTube every Thursday at noon Pacific.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Again, thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. Please just double check, make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. It really helps us out. And maybe even like this video. All right, we've got a lot to get to. We've got our best bets for the night. We've got a poll result, which I can see right now. and I was wrong on who the favorite was. And then we also have a ticker trivia, as we always do, brought to you by City Light Shine. So Ryan's finishing up his whiteboard. I'll continue to check in here with the chat until he is ready, and then he can give you those results, and I'll finish up mine. But kind of quiet chat today. JR was in there early, and we kind of missed him. Good to see you. As always, there was Jay Main. I knew he was here. Attila, JR, Tommy Dimes, hello again. And then Bob Custer, welcome in. Vince, Nick, and Sean. So good to see everybody. Please join us again tomorrow, Thursday, 10 a.m., as always, here on Sports by the Book. All right, Ryan is ready to go, so I'm going to send it over to him.
All right, we'll start with today's ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine, available at Lee's Discount Liquor, Total Wine, and here at the South Point Hotel and Casino, all of which are in Las Vegas. True or false question for you guys today, talking about the NHL postseason. It is true or false, at least one Canadian team has qualified for the Stanley Cup playoffs each year of the postseason in every year of the league's history. We did get a correct answer in the chat. So the answer of today's ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine is false. There have been only 2 NHL seasons to date in which a Canadian team did not qualify for the Stanley Cup playoffs. That would be in 1969, 1970, and so 1970 postseason, and the 2015-16 season 16 playoff. Both seasons saw a team win their 4th Stanley Cup in franchise history, with the Bruins getting it done in 1970, winning their 4th Cup, and the Pittsburgh Penguins getting it done in 2016, winning their 4th Cup. And JR did spot today's ticker trivia answer presented by City Light Shine, the 50-50 guess of true or false, but I'm sure he knew the answer of false. Twice has a Canadian team not qualified for the Stanley Cup postseason. Going to today's poll, today, Junior, which Major League Baseball player will hit their first home run of the season today? Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals, Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Padres, or Jazz Chisholm Jr. of the New York Yankees. And Fernando getting it done down in Slam Diego, 57% of the vote going with Fernando against the Mariners here tonight. That would also be my vote, Fernando Tatis, although the Yankees do seem like that is the most likely game for the majority of home runs here today. So Jazz could get it active, but Bobby Witt Jr. I would not be going with. That lineup's just really struggling. But again, all guys capable of doing so have a reputation to do so. Fernando more so than the other two. But Fernando also could be on the trade block, apparently.
What? Wow.
As they are. Padres have a lot in their payroll. Fernando, Machado, Bogarts, and Cronenworth. And they've been playing Fernando at second base, trying to showcase how good he is as the defender, and possibly shopping him around the block. So please don't trade him in a division. We all know which team I'm talking about that has the ammunition to trade for a guy like Fernando Tatis or Tariq Skubal. Oh, man. But yeah, Fernando Tatis was the winner of today's poll, as voted by the chat, of most likely did home run today.
Jazz does have a homer previous against Kachanowicz for the Angels, so that's why I liked that one. And I thought Bobby Witt Jr., just because of the name, I guess more recent than Fernando Tatis, would be the favorite to turn things around. But all good options. Okay, Brian, anything else? We had Race Day Las Vegas back again today. We have nothing else for the rest of the day, but 3 shows tomorrow.
3 shows tomorrow, right, beginning with Race Day Las Vegas here from the South Point Studio. Over on the South Point Studio YouTube page is Race Day Las Vegas, Ralph Sirocco and his handicappers talking about the pony picks of the day on Thursday. 8 a.m. is when that's live. It will live on that South Point Studio YouTube page, so if you're not watching it in that hour, you can watch it back as it is recorded. And then we will be back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, on this channel, talking through the daily sports wagering. And then Gone Racing is back this week talking about the Advent Health 400 at Kansas. So that one will be previewed by Jeff Motley and Brendan Gone. YouTube's been a little difficult with that one, so we'll have to know if it's live or just figuring it out. Attila, no, I am not a big Dodgers fan. I am not a Los Angeles fan. It will always, always, always be beat LA for me. But that is what we got coming up tomorrow. Race Day Las Vegas, Sports by the Book, and Gone Racing, all available tomorrow from the South Point studio.
Perfect. And then to wrap it all up, it is time for our best bets of the night. I didn't go too crazy today, although I am going to kind of go through some other that I do like. But a couple dog prices here for baseball. I do like the Chicago Cubs here against the Phillies, going up against Luzardo, who has struggled to start the season. I think the Cubs lineup can get to him. I like Cincinnati Reds. We're also on the Twins here with the system, but I liked the Reds anyways, going up against this Giants offense that is struggling. I like the Braves run line, plus 120. If you want to just find a partner, though, minus 165 to win the game might be the best bet, for they are the home team. And then I do like that draw for the Kraken and the Knights first period, plus 190. So 0-0-1-1, hopefully, in that one. That's all I put on there. A couple others, and we went through the whole hockey slate, but I did think there were some good dogs, including the Sabres, potentially Florida in that one. It's a lot of young players, but yeah, those two really jumped out, and possibly even if you start to get more, where I'm seeing plus 109, 110 with Chicago, I wouldn't hate that either. So there they are. Those are my best bets of the day. Let's get Ryan's whiteboard here.
So I did include the home dog of the Buffalo Sabres. I do like the home dog of the Florida Panthers, but you don't see them on my board. So starting it off with the Sabres getting it done in Buffalo against the Dallas Stars, plus 120 on that money line. The Senators winning by at least 2, a plus 125 price at home against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then I'm going full game tie here in Las Vegas, going to overtime between the Kraken and Knights, plus 360 there. I do really also like that plus 190 for the first period to be tied. And if you get that one, then you're in a good spot, and up plus 9.9 from the overtime if that doesn't get there. And then to baseball, the A's winning by 2, plus 165 against the Rangers and Kumar Rocker. And then the Blue Jays, Dylan Cease against the Brewers, minus 120. I think it's a short price. So 5 plays on the whiteboard here today.
Let's cash some tickets. I do just want to throw out, too, because I listened to our good friend, Wes Reynolds, his podcast, Long Shots, because I was looking to see who he liked for the RBC Heritage. Did take a little bit of Xander Schauffele, because everybody he threw out that he liked, if you watched the Masters last week, you could kind of see why and the form that they're in. So Xander Schauffele was 14-1. I'm going to take a shot at him to win it all. And Scotty Scheffler is 4-1. So I might kind of just split with those two. But if you want to take a listen to Wes's podcast as well. But that starts early morning, 4 a.m. tea time. So I just wanted to get that out there now. That's it. We'll be back tomorrow. We can give you updates on that one. And that's it. So thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. We'll be back again tomorrow. Please tell a friend. Check out our show and join us for the entire baseball season. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, all right, Ryan, anything else before we get out of here?
I'm all good. Good luck to everybody.
Good luck. Cash some tickets. And thank you to the crew, as always, and Jerry, Sean, Vince, and Drew Dog for all the hard work and good work that you guys do behind the scenes. So thanks for watching. This has been Sports by the Book. For Ryan McCormick, I'm Alex White. Cash some tickets. We'll see you tomorrow.